Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dave Sharp. Welcome. It's Wake Up Legendary. As you guys can see, I am in my backyard. Okay, so we may have some visitors here soon because pandemic and summertime. My guest has also got a little one there in the background. So hopefully, we're gonna have a successful distraction-free show, but just a warning up front that this is real life, people. This is real life. And so we are going to be talking to sort of a special guest today. And you guys are going to hear a unique story and an interesting angle. We're going to have one of our senior business plan advisors. This guy's a great leader in our community. His name's Andre, and we are actually having his better half, his wife, the mother of his child, on today, and that's the connection. That's how we know Brittany. But Brittany has really developed her own story, and we're really blessed to know Brittany and to kind of be connected to her, because today I wanted to have her on to speak to all of you guys. I mean, not just spouses, you know what I mean? Because she's got a great spouse story. Like, she's got a great story from the perspective of somebody who originally was just a kind of supporter, or a non-supporter who turned into a supporter, who turned into somebody who then began to grow their own business. But she also has this unique perspective of now a successful entrepreneur and a real education-based marketer, which one was one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit today. So without further ado, Brittany Miller, what up?
What's up, guys? Good morning. Thanks for having me here. The better looking version of Andre, I'll say.
Yes, without a doubt. I mean, he's a handsome guy, though. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Like, he's a good-looking dude, but I'll agree with your statement. So, how are you? Are you feeling good?
I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. Videos don't make me nervous, but I'm a little nervous for this one just because Andre's not with me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Last time we had you guys on together and you told kind of your couple story. We've had you guys on a couple of times, actually.
Yep.
I think two or three. So okay, so this is fun for me because I love to talk to like somebody who I normally like interact with. I love to talk to like their husband or wives. So tell us the the nutshell version of you met Andre. Bring us all the way forward, because we've heard Andre's backstory about working on the cruise ship. You guys met, right? You guys met. Were you on? Were you a guest on the cruise ship when you guys met?
I was, which technically is a big no-no, but we,
Right.
we kept our hands to ourselves.
Okay.
So I was actually cruising with my best friend at the time, and funny story is Andre wanted my best friend, and I thought Andre's friend was cute, but then Andre and I ended up dating and of course getting married. So funny little twist to that.
Isn't
But
that
yes, we
interesting how
met
that works?
while I was vacationing.
Okay, so he's originally from Jamaica. You're originally from Massachusetts, which is where you guys are currently living at right now.
Yep, correct.
And so you guys decided to come back and go to Massachusetts and live there. And you know, basically, you were basically figuring out what the hell are we going to do with our lives. Like, we're like most other people in this country, especially right now, struggling. And Andre came to you and he said, "Hey, I found this online business thing." And what happened at that point, and what was your original reaction?
My original reaction was like, I didn't give him the time of day. So, where we live in Massachusetts, it's very secluded. Like, the woods are our backyard, there's farms every corner you turn. So, the whole online business, I'm just like, that's, of course, first reaction is scam, because that's just not that my parents ever taught me that, but that's just like what I grew up with and where I grew up. Online businesses just isn't something that you do. You go work in a warehouse, you go work in a factory, you go work on a farm. Like that's just what you do in this area. So my initial reaction was just like, no. And with him coming here, being from Jamaica, going through immigration and all of that, you get set in stone in your head that you have to do this life a right way. You graduate high school, you go to college, you get a 9-to-5 job. So when he was coming here, I was like, you need to go get a job so you can be in the system, whatever that system is. But that was just my mindset. I'm like, you need to go do a 401k and all of that. So I just immediately shut it down because I thought there was a certain way you had to live your life.
And one of his famous lines that he said to you was, well, do you have a plan? Or it went something like that. What did he say to you?
So gosh, I should have this memorized by now, but I'm pretty sure his exact words were, do you have another plan?
I love that part.
That's
so
his famous words.
So were you pregnant yet at this point?
I was, yep. I was 3 months pregnant at that time.
So the reality of like responsibility and that you had to take care of both of you more than just yourselves had sort of set in.
Right, yeah. And with him being from the Caribbean and whatnot, a lot of people in his culture, like, you help your family out. Like, there's no question or doubt about it. When it comes to money, you help them out because, in reality, they don't have what we have here. So it's just, we had a baby on the way and I knew we'd be helping family out. So it was just a big punch in the gut because you're like, what do you do? He wants to do this online business, but then if it doesn't work, we're not only supporting Jackson, but we're also supporting family as well.
So were you working at a job in the salon? You worked at a salon at that time, is that right?
I was in a salon working only part-time, $125 every 2 weeks, and I would drive an hour to work because I worked in a college town and then, an hour home. So between the driving and what I was making and bills, I wasn't meeting ends meet.
So now let's transition a bit into your story and kind of how you began to develop your own entrepreneurial spirit. What I want you to first touch on is something that I recently learned about you, which is around your why with your son, which is connected to your father.
Okay, so my whole, of course, Andre got me into the whole online thing. I hated him at first, and now, it's been a blessing in disguise. Everybody knows that. But I was very hesitant again because I just had my own beliefs and nobody taught me those beliefs. You watch news, you read stuff online. So it's like the world shapes you into believing what they want you to believe. So it's one thing to really work on yourself and get out of that mindset, which I had to do. But, once I got rolling and really into the whole working online and making money online, my why sort of switched. At that point, it was making money to pay our bills and because we had a baby on the way and with paying for immigration. But I really, your why can change, which I feel it needs to change to keep you going. But my why has been a hardcore because of Jackson right now. I grew up with my dad being an alcoholic. He was never around, bless his soul. He'll be gone 10 years this year. But I'll say I still have daddy issues. You just live with those memories that, he was never around for holidays. Even when it was a holiday, he wasn't around. And I just didn't want Jackson experiencing that, especially because we did debate whether Andre was going to go back and work on cruise ships after Jackson was born. That's a whole other story. But I had that fear in my mind that if he did that, Jackson wouldn't know who he was. Granted, we could go travel with him and stuff, but I wasn't sure if I wanted that life for him. So I just really, as parents, and I've talked to Andre about my childhood and whatnot, but I just really did not want Jackson to grow up without me being around, or him only seeing me a couple hours a night, because with hairdressing, you work crazy days and you work crazy long hours. And as I said, I just didn't want that for him. I wanted him to be around us as much as possible, and we wanted to raise him. I know people send their kids to daycares and that's their only option, and I support that, but that's just not something we wanted for our lives and our son.
And thank God that you're not in that business right now going through this pandemic, right? Because you would likely, likely be up and down all around, potentially out of work. I know where we live, hair salons, beauty salons have been one of the first to go, right?
Yeah.
And so tell us, so we haven't really told, and I want to give people a little bit, I want to fast forward then and come back to how you got there. So since you've started, you kind of went off on your own path, got into direct sales, you got into beauty marketing. I don't know if there's a better way to describe that, but makeup products. Tell us what you've been able to accomplish, like in this, you got into direct sales in this direct sales company that you got involved with.
So it was actually, again, Andre who signed me up with this company, and partially because, we have everything, but what he saw that made it stand out for him was the makeup. I grew up dancing, being a competitive dancer, and being in a hair salon. Makeup was just a thing that has always been a part of my life. So, he goes, why don't you give this a try? So, I love it. As I said, we're much more than makeup, and my niche and what I find most passion in is, I like those people that come to me who think it's too late for them. Maybe it's too late for them to start a skincare routine, or too late for them to get into makeup. But I find when you are happy with yourself, I know looks aren't everything, but when you are happy with yourself on the outside, you're going to like yourself that much more on the inside. So that's really been my pride and joy, is educating people on the fact that it's never too late for them to start something new.
Right. I love that. I'm just moving because I want to just make sure that my Wi-Fi connection stays strong. So I love that. So I want to talk exclusively for the rest of this interview about your marketing strategy and how you've become successful, because I just want to tell you this. I'm extremely blown away and proud of you for going and doing what you've done. I'm not only am I proud of you, but I'm also just blown away by you and Andre, because Andre is one of the smartest and best leaders that I know. He's just awesome, and you two are so down to earth, and you're just so cool. And I just really, really, really look up to you guys, and I think you guys are just absolutely just a power couple, and you're just two awesome people. But you guys have you have developed a pretty successful little strategy, and it's been basically based around free marketing for the most part, right? Marketing on Facebook. So talk us through a little bit about how you your first initial success, how you started to kind of find your groove, and how you've been able to achieve the success that you have inside of this business that you're building.
So one of the main things that I really try to focus on, like I said and you said before, is education. So it was really last January. So January of 2000, was it? Yeah, 2019. That I was like, okay, I was selling products and everything. I was making an income, but it wasn't good enough for me. It was at that point like, okay, do I want to go back into the hair salon because I did like doing hair, or can I step up my game and truly stay home full time? So what I really started to do was implementing, as I said, education. So when people join my group, you need to be doing this, whatever you do in marketing. You don't want to just jump down someone's throat with a sale. they are going, I like to tell people they are buying you. Yes, you may have a great product at your hands. It may do what it say it's going to do, but they are buying you because they know, they like, and they trust you. So I really had to switch up my marketing strategy. And it's a game. You may try something and it doesn't work. Okay, in a little while, reevaluate it and try something else. Like, nothing is going to work for a lifetime. Like you're constantly, changing things up. It's what you have to do. So when people are joining my group, I am educating them. I start with absolute basics sometimes. I don't know if this is the right word to say, but sometimes you have to dumb things down for people to understand. I may, like, Dave really understands marketing. When we were first getting into this, we didn't know what the heck he was talking about. So you really have to dumb things down for people, even though when you understand it, somebody else isn't going to. Also, too, what I find to really grab people's attention and to get across that I'm all about educating people and not just getting a product in their hands is I have a free ebook. So if you have something free to offer somebody, they're going to be like, wow, like this girl or this guy, they really care about me and they really care about educating me. And then if they end up wanting to buy something, that's great. But I really found my strategy, and I still use this to this day because it does work so well, is really showing people I care. I educate on the little things, I give them knowledge, and I actually became a certified nutrition coach as well, and you can really tie that into beauty. So if you're just constantly willing to learn, to grow, to educate yourself more, you're going to be able to give that back to the people that you want to attract. I hope that answers your question okay.
Yeah, it really does. It's really powerful. Talk about how did you write the ebook yourself?
I did. Yep. And I actually had someone proofread it for me where she's really big into ebooks. So she helped me draft it up and whatnot. And I'll go in occasionally to change the pictures because my look's constantly changing. But yeah, I did.
I got my 3-year-old here. Look, can
Hi,
you see her?
Kiki.
Or my 4, she's 4 now. She wants to come out. I don't know where her mother is, but go ahead. Keep. I had to give everybody the
Real life.
disclaimer up front, right? That this might happen. I do have one shoe, Angel. What? I'm on my show still, baby. You want to say hi? Okay.
Hi,
Okay.
Cece.
That's Brittany. I'm interviewing her right now.
Why do you even have a girl in your name?
Well, because she's a successful entrepreneur, I'm interviewing her. So, tell me, start that over again?
The ebook, I
Yeah.
had someone proofread it for me. And, she had me adjust the little things. We keep it really simple and really straight to the point. But yeah, it's been successful. It just really shows people that I'm willing to help educate them and give them more knowledge. Oops, I don't hear you. I don't know if you hear me. Okay,
Yeah,
now
I
I hear
muted
you.
myself. So, I hope you have a good call. Thank you, Angel. So are you primarily using Facebook? How are you
Yeah.
attracting people to you?
What's the word I'm looking for? Attraction marketing. I like doing challenges. So I will
Okay.
do water challenges because obviously it's good for your health, but it's good for your skin too. So I'll do water challenges. I'll even do short little fitness challenges. So I'm not just posting about beauty. I'm posting other things as well that pertain to my life that I find passion in. So that's really,
Yep.
how I work people into my group. Some days, some weeks, I'll get a lot of people that join, and then I'll get weeks where nobody joins. But I just feel that's the game with social media.
Yeah. Are you attracting people into your group? Do you have a Facebook group? Is that
I
what
do.
you're?
Yeah, I
Okay.
use strictly just a Facebook group. I mean, I have a Facebook business page as well, but from
Yeah.
there, I can try to get them into my group.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wondered when you said group a couple of times if that's what you were doing, if you were bringing people into a group.
Yeah.
Do you find that Facebook group is primarily where you're able to establish your own kind of credibility and authority as a leader, and then attract people to reach out to you to basically
Yeah.
say, okay, I'm ready to get started, or I want to buy something?
Yep, that is where 99% of my sales is from my Facebook group. And I don't have a big group either, which
Yeah.
is another thing I want people to realize. Numbers, you're better to have quality over quantity. Like if someone was to join my group, they would probably expect me to have thousands of people in there for the sales that I do. I don't even have 1,000 people in there, but they're quality people, not just, as I said, it's not quantity for me, it's quality.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that, okay, one thing that I wanted to just backtrack on before I get ahead of myself, because I wanted to talk, I mean, you've really done some cool things. You've won some great prizes in your company, and you've been featured. You guys traveled to New York City. You were up on a huge commercial or something. We'll talk about that here in a second, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Because you've done a lot. Like it just triggered that thought when you said, based on your sales, people would think that you had a huge audience. Like that's a really important point, that you can do so much. I was just talking about this yesterday with our team at Legendary, that like and I was actually using Andre as the example because he's crushing it. And it's like, Andre is quality over quantity. You know what I mean? He's building relationships with people. He's caring. He's detail oriented, and so obviously, you guys have that in common. So I wanted to talk about the kind of dumbing it down thing, because that's really important. Making things simple for people to understand. I think that's really brilliant that you do water challenges, because sometimes people do challenges that are too difficult. Like we did a challenge in Legendary one time that was like 30 days of content creation, and it was like a lot. Like we had thousands of people that started, and like then at the end we had a contest for people to submit their articles and their videos to win a prize, and we had 100 submissions. So it was like only 5% of people finished the challenge, and that was an accomplishment, I felt, for just people to finish something for 30 days. So you're doing these like simple little water challenges. Is that something like 5 days of drinking a gallon of water a day or something?
I'll actually do 21 days.
Okay.
I know it's so cliche, like it takes 21 days to create a habit, which
Yeah.
I do believe is true, but it's also longer to get that habit to stick. Like I did a skincare and water challenge intertwined at the beginning of this new year, and I did 66 days. That was a lot. I don't think I could do that again, but 21 days, it just gets people going, and not necessarily a gallon. I'll actually tell people to drink half of their body weight. If they don't know how to figure that out, they'll just message me and I'll help them out. But during that 21 days, I'll intertwine water recipes that will help people's skin, because, there's fruit and stuff that you can put in your water and it will help your skin, and just little things like that people are amazed by and don't realize it actually works.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple of important points to that, and this is really a strategy that anybody can use. So I'm really thrilled you brought it up, that we can talk about it. It's something that anybody can do. Like anybody can drink water. And I think that's really important. Like one of the things for like an initial challenge, if you're doing something for free, the simpler it is, the better. The simpler your messaging is, the better. Something that people can not only do, but also something that people can see a small result with. So if you can give somebody a result before there's ever even an offer presented, they're going to feel there's going to be a reciprocation, or so almost like they're indebted. They're like, hey, I've already gotten value from this person. I've already gotten a result from this person, and it's just really powerful. So have you seen those challenges as one of the number one ways to get people into your group and kind of get people buying and attracted towards you?
Oh yeah, people ask for them all the time. I have people who've been doing them with me since the beginning, and they rave about them and are constantly asking me to do them again because they raved about it to their friends, and then their friends want to join. So I'm constantly doing them.
Yeah, challenges are something that, and obviously we have a 15-day business builder challenge in Legendary that we've used for a long time, and it's worked really well. It's I mean, really what we're asking people to do with that challenge, which is why our challenge works, is just listen and learn and watch the videos. That's another kind of piece. It's not like we're asking them to do two difficult things. I think if you guys ever are going to run a challenge, you have to really make sure that the challenge that you run is something simple. Like if we do a content challenge again, like I'll give you an example. If we do a content challenge, which we are, because we got a lot of results from it, like people still talk about it to this day, and we did it like 6 months, 9 months ago, something like that.
I actually followed along with that challenge.
We would probably do it shorter. Like we would probably make it like 15 days instead of 30. Because in your challenge, you really want to give people a chance, even 5 days or 7 days. You really want to try to get people to finish it, because if they finish the challenge, they're so much more likely to go on to the next step than if they don't finish the challenge. If they don't finish the challenge, it's not that they won't buy, but the likelihood of them buying goes way down because they feel like they didn't even do the first and free thing that you had for them. So if you guys run challenges, and I think this model of attracting people into a Facebook group and then running a challenge with your entire Facebook group is a brilliant strategy. And I think it's a way for anybody to, and it works in any niche, Brittany. That's the beautiful thing. It works in beauty and health. It works in make
People
money.
need water just to feel good. Anybody can use it. It's so simple.
Yeah. I mean, you can apply it to any niche. Like you can apply it to the make money online niche. Like I also know people who do like 7 and 14 day go live or post a video on Facebook. Like there's those kind of challenges too. So for like your business builders on your team, like there's those kind of challenges that would, hey, let's go live for 5 days in a row. We're going to do a 5-day go live challenge. So no, that's great. Is there any other tips that you would give people, or things that you've done that you felt have really moved the needle for you?
One of the biggest things that I find people, again, think so cliche, and I have actually talked about this on a live with you before, is your consistency. Again, it sounds so cliche, but with your consistency and your commitment, it's going to take you far. And another thing is personal development. If you are not growing yourself, you are not going to grow a business. So with that personal development, you also want to, be taking care of yourself, whether that's going to the gym, getting in 10,000 steps, drinking your water. You have to be taking care of yourself, or you're not going to be able to take care of other people. And in the online business, you're mostly taking care of other people. Like you want them to jump on board with you and whatnot. So consistency, commitment to your consistency, and personal development. Like if you guys, and I know I say this all the time too, but if you could see where I was almost 4 years ago, even I have that picture of me on the bed. So if anybody wants to pull that up, you can, but you don't have to be perfect. You can do this and make it work for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's simple, but that's really all I got. That's just what I work for, my team. That's what I tell them. So there I am. That is when I started. You do not have to be perfect.
Yeah, I love it. So, how do you stay like consistent and not overwhelmed when you are, being there for people and responding to people, right? Building a business, it's kind of no longer just about you. Like you're not responding. You're going from this role of almost like maybe in a job to where you're answering to somebody. Now you're responding to people from a leadership standpoint, and kind of all that weight of responsibility and the emotional weight of continuing on, like you said a few minutes ago, when things don't work out. It's like, well, that's frustrating. It can be frustrating, but you got to keep going. So dealing with the emotional heaviness of that as well. How do you continue and you guys got a son, and you guys are both hustling from home. Like, how do you manage it all? Like, how do you balance it all and stay sane?
Some days are better than others, I will say that. I really not shutting Andre down, but I got the 2 year, or well, he's now 3. It's like I got the 3-year-old all day and trying to run a business, and in the middle of all that, trying to keep him quiet while Andre's on the phone because the other room literally is right there. But to keep myself sane, you know, I go to the gym every morning because that is what gets me going. The weekends, I feel again, this could be the wrong thing to say. So many people say hustle 24/7, but you also have to take breaks. If you're hustling 24/7, you are not doing something right. So I
Yeah.
take breaks on Saturday, especially during the summer because we have a boat, so we go boating.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Nice.
it's like my phone is down. People, they can hear back from me on Monday unless, if it's an emergency, they have my number. They can call me, they can text me. But I really try to stay off of social media all day on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But as far, as day to day goes, I'll check my messages in the morning. I'll check them when Jackson's napping, and then I will check them after he goes to bed at night. Again, bringing it back to the whole my dad thing is I really try to be as present as I can. Some days, my messenger is blowing up more than others. But, raising a 3-year-old and having a business, what I like to say is it's my full-time income, but it's not my full-time job. Like, I'm still working it when I'm working it, but I chose this path of life because I want the freedom. So I also make sure that I'm getting in that freedom, but still making us an income. So
Yeah.
you really, I have a schedule. So on certain days I have, personal development, gym, I forget what else I have on there, but after I do them, I cross them off, and I don't go to bed until all those are crossed off. So some nights might be early nights, some nights may be late nights, but you have to commit to a schedule. It's so much easier. Sometimes I even have to remind Andre, I'm like, you need to take a break.
So, and I wholeheartedly back that up. I mean, self-care, I was going to ask you for your examples of self-care, but you gave them when you were talking about it. I'm a huge fan of that. And I think the older you get, the less energy you have. I know for me, I've noticed myself getting tired faster than I did when I was in my 20s. I mean, I'm 36 now, for God's sakes. And I'm not 26. I'm not, I remember when I used to be able to work just, all into the night. Like when I first started my business in my 20s, I could just work a lot longer and sort of operate on less sleep. But I gotta be more. And I think those of you who are older need to be more gentle with yourselves. You need to, I usually ask people for longer commitments and get out of this get rich quick in 30 days, or I'm going to press a couple of buttons and money's going to spit off Facebook. It's not like, get into that long-term mentality and you'll put less pressure on yourself. It's not that you want to have that plan B right there, in your face all the time so you can just say screw it, but but it's also about giving yourself time to be able to say, hey, look, if I don't have to accomplish everything in a day, I don't have to accomplish even everything in a year. You'd be amazed if you stick with something for a year. My wife and I say this all the time. We set goals we sit down because we aren't huge partiers on New Year's Eve of every year. And we go over last year's goals that we wrote down on a physical piece of paper. And then we make goals for the next year. And every year we're like, holy shit, I can't believe that I actually accomplished that. Because you can accomplish so much more in 12 months than you ever can in terms of setting goals and actually accomplishing them in 30 days. Sometimes there's a quote, I can't remember what it is, but most people overestimate what they can accomplish in like a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 years or something like that. But the spirit is still the same. It's like people overestimate what they can accomplish in 30 days and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. What is before we kind of bring this airplane in for a landing, what are some of the coolest and accomplishments and things that you personally are most proud of that your business and you inside of your business have done?
Oh man. Well, we of course were on the billboard in New York City, so that was very cool. Jackson asked all the time, "Can we go back to the city and see us on the big TV?" And I'm like, "But it's not up anymore." So that was very cool. I also have how do I explain this? I don't need to explain it, but we have something where you can achieve, we do things in quarters in the company. So for my sales, I have been making it top for my sales for the past year now. So I've been in March, I was actually for sales, I was number 5 in the company, and my face was up there with some pretty big people, but it was also eye-opening, especially for my team. We live in a town that is less than 2,000 people. These girls that were on that board have huge followings. They live in big cities, so it was just nice to see that I was number 5 up there with them, just because it shows what is possible if you put your mind to it. So that was really big for me, and I'm constantly sticking to the top of that leaders board because I know I can do it, so I don't ever want to see myself below it again. So between that, the billboard, I've earned Andre and I a trip to Hawaii. Of course, with COVID, it got canceled, but I'm re-earning that trip so we can go hopefully next June. Hopefully COVID's gone by then, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, I would recommend all you, I mean, ladies and guys, go check out Brittany. Go follow her on Facebook. Maybe she'll let you into her secret group, and you guys can get all of these wonderful health and beauty tips. I mean, fellas, we need to stay right too. If you guys have ever seen Andre's skin, this guy's he's like a glowing Zeus, you know. So I think he's on that regimen as well.
Routine.
Yeah,
he follows the skincare routine.
yeah. I mean, it's we all need to step our game up, especially through this COVID. We need to stay pretty because we're all going to come out like gargamels if we don't. But yeah, like fellas, ladies, like go check her out. Like the reason why I brought her on today was because she's, you know, I don't need to explain it. You guys just heard it. Like there's nuggets, there's wisdom, there's a true self-made story here that was born out of skepticism, and skepticism about her husband's business. You know, I mean, it's one of my favorite stories I've ever heard in this entrepreneur space in 10 years. Like it's inspirational, and there's a lot of wisdom in it. And what I like most about it is that you don't make it a big story. You just kind of keep it simple and do your thing and keep your head down, and you're just working. You're not caught up in the story. You're not caught up in the accolades. You're still writing the story. Like, and that's obvious,
Absolutely.
you know, and your behavior, you know, how you carry yourself and what you say really shows that. So one last picture that I know you prepared for this, but I wanted to throw it up, was the one, if you guys can, of us. Do you have one at an event from 3 years ago or so? Did you bring a picture of us at an event?
There is one I think Matt has.
Yeah. So let's see that one. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So that was from, I feel like 2017. Yeah. I don't know if that was the first time. Was that the first time I met you?
Yep.
Okay.
That was the first time we all met.
Okay. Were you started in your business yet?
Yes.
You were.
Yep. So the first event Andre actually wanted to go to was July of 2017, but knowing that Jackson was only going to be a couple weeks old, I shut that down real quick. But then he brought this one up, and I'm like, all right, you know, I've shut him down so many times that I just said, if you're going, we're going, because I want to see what this is all about. And let me tell you, you guys, I know live events, they're doing them virtually, but you need to go to an in-person one, because not only is it going to change your business, it's going to change your life. And I'm not just saying that. Going to this first event really changed my mindset on a ton of different things.
Yeah. Take that picture away, because I just lost Brittany. I don't know if it's on her side or my side.
Oh, can you hear me?
Say that. Yeah, say that last 20 seconds or so one more time.
I was just saying that I know events are virtual right now, but you absolutely have to get to an in-person one because it's not going to just change your business, it's going to change your life. And that event, that very first one, I had to keep going in and out of the room because I had Jackson, so he would get fussy or ready for a nap. But I walked away being, I don't even want to say being a better person because that sounds so silly, but I felt growth just in a short few days. So if you haven't been to a live event, you're missing out big time.
Nice. Well, hey, look, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for spending 40 extremely valuable minutes with us today. Like for real, like just thank you so much.
Thanks for
And I'm
having
so
me.
proud of you and inspired by what
Thank
you've
you.
done. So keep up the great work. Yeah,
Thank
and next
you.
time we'll have your son on so he can tell both of you guys a story. You know,
Okay, good.
we'll have Jackson and Cece on here in a couple of years. They'll like be hosting their own shows.
They will.
All right. See you later. Hey, let's get her out. I'll shut the show down. We can let her go. Brittany, thanks again. Thanks so much. All right, my friends. Wow, powerful stuff this morning. Look, one of the things that I wanted to just mention here before we go is she mentioned about events, and we have a mastermind, a virtual mastermind that's coming up. Now, here's the cool thing about that is that if you get a membership into our mastermind itself, then you get this free virtual mastermind for free. You get the virtual mastermind for free. This virtual mastermind that we have coming up is going to be 2 days, and lots of breaks. It's going to be a really fun experience. There's going to be tons of things that you're going to take away, similar to just like today. I mean, just imagine over 2 days, me as your host, Matt Hetzel as your host, um, extracting these nuggets from guests, similar to Brittany. We're going to have guests from all different businesses, running different businesses. So you guys are going to see different examples of affiliate marketing and creating digital products and coaching and running events. So our kind of core four business models. Obviously, a lot from affiliate marketers who are crushing it. And you guys are going to leave, if you're there at this virtual mastermind, you guys are going to leave with just, I, I'm going to say, tons of 5 and 6 figure ideas that when you execute them will literally turn from an idea into into real life results, real life money, real life customers. So reach out to your business plan advisor. Like that's all I can say is just reach out and at least have a conversation about it, or else you guys are missing out big time. We've got over 100 people that are going to be at this virtual mastermind who've already RSVP'd. Over 100 people are going to be at this virtual mastermind. So there's going to be 100 people from this community who have an amazing edge during COVID. And obviously, a lot of these strategies are going to apply to what should we do right now. We're going to talk about primarily how do we apply strategies right now during this COVID period to be able to come out on the other side. And everybody could use an advantage, but only a few will have one because a few will sacrifice their time and invest their money to be able to be there. There's special deals and special opportunities for you guys to come to be there. So reach out to your BPA. Just log into your back office and click advisor, book an appointment, have a brief conversation, and see what it takes if we can get you in. Just have a conversation about it, and I think it'll be one of the smartest things that you do. That's going to be happening July 25th and 26th. And remember, you're getting this virtual mastermind for free. All right, it's not an additional above the normal cost of our mastermind. You enroll in our mastermind and you get this for free. Okay, and any other virtual event that we do during COVID, you get for free. We're really over delivering. Like anybody who becomes a mastermind member during this COVID period, we are going to over deliver for you and take care of you to make sure, to ensure that it's one of the best investments that you make all year. Okay. Right now is the best time to invest in yourself. It just is. Like, what should I do during COVID? Buckle down and learn and develop skills. That's what you should be doing without a doubt. I don't think you should be, going out worrying about anything else. I'm not. I'm not going in investing money in real estate. I'm not buying stock, right? I'm not doing any of that stuff because I don't know what's going to happen. What I'm doing is I'm doubling down on me and I'm putting away a nest egg, right? So I have money if there's issues that are longer than what I expected. But that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing during COVID. And that's what I recommend you do too, right? Buckle down, invest in yourself, develop skills, because we don't know how long this thing's going to last and we don't know what it's going to look like when we come out of it. And you absolutely cannot rely on brick and mortar businesses. And I quite frankly don't think things will ever be the same. That's just my personal opinion. So learn skills and make sure that you're location independent and able to work with nothing but a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about at this upcoming mastermind. Virtual mastermind. You get it absolutely free when you become a member of our mastermind. We've got great deals. Reach out to your BPA. This is Dave Sharp. I hope you got a lot of value from today. I want to thank Brittany for coming on. She's just cool. She's just awesome. And I hope you guys got a lot of value. All right. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Wake up legendary. Peace.